because that ultimately is what it is that gives opportunity for the people of the country to be able to have what you call a life of decency. And you're talking about God bless our homeland Ghana, make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and the cause of what is right. It's difficult for people to stand for their freedom and to do what is right if they don't have the means to be able to be themselves, have decency, and be able to work. And to create job, first of all, it means you need to be able to set up the economy in a manner in which there is what you call facilitation for people to become more productive. And when people get more productive, then people are able to, as it were, get what you call more and more income. So that stability is critical. That's why, again, it's sad the levels of destruction that we saw as far as the economy of the country is concerned.
But you're in charge now.
No. But first, you must take what you call account of what you need. And on the back of that, then you know the enormity of the difficulty you face. And then now setting the process to be able to start delivering what you call the changes. Now, what it simply means is this, that you are meeting a Ghana that is really like in a state of what you call intensive care unit. So the first thing you need to do is ensure you work hard for it to move out of that intensive care unit and move into the recovery ward. But the recovery ward is not the place. You need to move from the recovery ward now and then be able to now come home. And come home now to now start getting the strength now to start going out.
No, it's like a century.
No, but you can't.
You have just 4 years.
But unfortunately, things have to be the city getting back into state of health again. It simply is coming because we put in a system that is trying to bring what you call a sanity in the fiscal.
The power sector, though, which you need for your 24-hour economy, is to...
Yeah, that's true. So you must appreciate that
one
of the places where there was the biggest destruction was in the power sector. Where basically, even though MPP was... we left for MPP a country where doomsday was already resolved, a country that actually had far more power supply capacity than demand at the time they took over. We also handed them what you call the ESLA, that on a yearly basis was giving them in the region of about 300, or is it 3 billion a year. They still have left what you call a power sector that has what you call the greatest level of debt as far as the history of our country is concerned. So naturally, if you have that situation, it's a difficult situation. You don't resolve that situation in 5 months. Because you now have to take care of, for example, you heard about car power. Car power effectively has reached a place where it's no, we now have to be paid. Because if we are not able to be paid, we cannot continue supplying power. And MPP actually said, leaving something that can even pay groups, and they actually left that. Crippling debt. They saw what you call the nauseating procurement that happened, for example, in ECG, where they were procuring what you call input to the tune of 10 years. When you cannot even have what you call basic health of that most important institution. So these are things that you have to resolve, but you are not going to just resolve them like with a magic wand. I know the mischief that's going on, MPP busy shouting, doomsday is bad, doomsday is bad. The thing is, you see, they have no conscience. They have no conscience. Their level of shamelessness is simply unbelievable. Me, if I were an MPP, having president of 8 years that saw the energy sector destroyed, leaving the kind of debts that we left, I would not even have the moral authority to speak. They don't hear Bawumia speaking. I hear the MPP minister, the MP speaking, the leader speaking. You have no shame. You have absolutely no shame. If you had any ounce of shame, you will be absolutely quiet because of the level of calamity you let this country.
Be quiet and what
the very fact that they have no shame, for me, speaks to the fact that they don't understand that the mood of this country has changed. They still think it's a business as usual. Go into a position and start making ugly noises, start pretending as if you are holding the answers for the country. When you have just presented like 8 years of the most calamitous rule that we've ever said, shut up and be quiet. Let Ghana be properly reset. You have no moral authority.
But they cannot speak when things are going bad.
No, I'm not saying that they have no right to speak.
Your babies
they have no right to moralize. They have no right to pretend as if they are what you call the upholders of what you call economic capacity.
Yeah, but they have moved away and given you the opportunity now.
Yeah, but that's why they need to be quiet. Allow the people of Ghana who have given us this opportunity to be those to speak.
But they are people of Ghana.
You don't seem to understand it. I'm just saying that don't, for example, tell me about how to solve doomsday when you cause doomsday. Don't tell me how to solve Ghana. Say when you in 8 years couldn't do one thing about Ghana. Say it's not you. I've listened to the other people of Ghana, but not you. Those who were part of what you call this revolution, I can hear them. But you have no moral authority to sermonize anybody on how to resolve doomsday or how to resolve Ghana. Say you have no moral authority.
You have scrapped a lot of taxes. You are the IMF. You want to develop this country, you need revenue. Where are you going to get it from? You're going to tax Ghanaians? You're going to go for more loans? What are you going to do?
We have, through the budget, proved that it's possible to be able to deal with what you call some expenditure item in order to be able to, as it were, bring what you call revenue and expenditure closer to balance. You saw that. You saw exactly what has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, this last budget, you saw it. People were like, how is that impossible? MPP ain't yet created an impression that without e-levy, without these, things cannot be happening. And we've been able to establish how things can still be done without necessarily imposing all other punishment on the people. Now, when you are able to prove to the people of Ghana that you truly can deliver as much with little resource, when you ask them for bigger resource, they trust you more. Why? I give you 10, and you're able to use 10 to deliver for me 1,000. Now, if you're asking me for 20 and 30, I trust you because you've shown to me that you have a track record.